So when is too much, y'all? Huh? When is not enough, too much? Back in a minute, I got something I want to talk about. So I got a lot of friends that watch my videos, at least fairly close acquaintances. And sometimes they make comments, sometimes they just saw this, saw that. Very rarely do they say anything positive or negative. Kind of makes you wonder. I got one friend in particular, though. I've talked about him before. He's hard on me. It's funny. Good fisherman. Used to fish tournaments. Matter of fact, I fished my second ever bass club tournament with him. 1981. Wasn't my first check ever. I finished fourth that day and won $10.46. That's the kind of things you remember when you try real hard. The other day, though, I was talking to him. He brought this up. He said, you talk about being spun out or whatever about your fishing, but I showed that rod box full of rods and reels, and he said, that's just crazy. He don't get that. He said, that's why I was shook up. Too many decisions, too many choices. Is it? I don't have near in this boat what I could have. I think I could put 50 rods and reels in that thing. I have 50 rods and reels put in it. I really do. But I'm trying to tournament fish. That's what's happened today. I'm spun out. I can't figure nothing out. Post cold front, real high skies, a little bit of wind. I ain't getting bit for squat. Just dinks. Maybe had one keeper first thing this morning and I missed him on a buzzbait. So I got to thinking a few minutes ago, I got to quit pretty soon today. I got to go work. I'm spun out. I'm not catching any fish. I always tackle and bass boat. And my supposed knowledge from all the years of doing this, I'm spun out because I always tackle. Here is my way of saying what too much tackle is. I have had too much tackle on my boat before. I've had my boat so full of stuff like a tackle shop. It's not. I have 19 rods and reels in the boat. I have 7 of them out. That's the most I've had out all day. And actually, the 2 top water rods are right here. I put them to the back of the boat just for maybe a circumstance I may think they're not working. It's cold front, they ain't biting. Makes no sense. 66 to 68 degree water, 69 degree water right here. Shad are not up. The front has hurt them. It shouldn't hurt them that much. I'm spun out. I admit it. I forgot how to do this. But when it comes to all this tackle, I've got right now 3 crankbait rods on deck, which ain't been a good deal, but I have a deep diver, or what we used to call a deep runner, Rebel Deep We Are from the 70s or 80s. Cool bait. It goes 7 or 8 foot deep on 10-pound line, so I'm not throwing ultra deep divers, but I got it out. And I've got 2 square bills. I've got a small Bagley 2-inch. I've got one of the baits that I built on a predator blanket, 2.5-inch, for different size, different shape, different actions. Trying to figure them out. I got 2 jig rods on the deck. One is a typical jig for fishing down deeper, 3/8 ounce with a crawdad trailer. I've been fishing it from 0 to 15 foot deep today with not a bite. I ain't had a bite on a jig in 3 days down here. Everybody's catching them on jigs. I'm spun out. The other jig is a swim jig, a 1/2 ounce, kind of a silvery gray white with a white chunk, or now I put a blue chunk on, plastic. Swimming, pitching underneath docks, skipping underneath docks, timber, swimming, trying to cover the bases. Now, of those 5 rods up front right now, those are, man, that jig's a 12-month out of the year thing. The swim jig, 9 to 10 months out of the year. The square bill crankbaits could be a 12-month thing, definitely a 10-month. That deep diving crankbait, 12-month bait. Is that too many rods to have out? Now, if you're trying tournament fish, trying to figure fish out. Now, if I was out here just fishing for fun, with no tournament mentality, which makes me mental, I could have one crankbait, one jig, one topwater. That's what, and Mike said, yeah, a worm or jig, that's all you need. Maybe. Just out here piddling around, and you might make it work that way. I want options. I want to cover depths, speeds, shapes, sizes. I want to be able to cover all that. Maybe Mike's right. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. In that box, so there's 19 rods, I think I counted when he first said that the other day. I haven't changed that. No spinning rods, I'm fishing for real. I'm not fishing jacking around. Not a spinning rod guy for bass, not very often. There's a couple more crankbait poles, special. There's a 6.5, these are 3 or 7 footers. There's a 6.5 footer for getting around the docks and getting tight with a square bill on it. And there's another one with a bigger deep diving crankbait, just in case. So 5 crankbait rods in the boat. Yeah, that's quite a few. But it's like that deep runner, this Rebel Deep We Are, I pulled out a few minutes ago. I haven't thrown it today. I've been throwing these square bills, not catching fish. I decided to come down a bank, and I'm going to throw a little deeper bait. Cold front. But why don't they bite that jig? I'm spun out. I have 2 spinnerbait rods in that boat. I haven't pulled them out yet this year. One of the big spinnerbait, one of the small spinnerbait. That covers some of the spinnerbait. I mean, when spinnerbait bites good, I may have 3 spinnerbaits. When the topwater, I got another topwater rod in there. It's got a chug bug. I haven't thrown it yet. Maybe I ought to. Smaller topwater. I got a Zero Spook and a buzzbait on for these topwaters. 2 complete different actions, sounds, and everything. That's kind of trying to cover it. Instead of making them come to my way, I'm trying to make it go their way. I'm still spun out. Got a couple more jig rods in there. I got 3 or 4 flipping sticks because I'm going to flip 9 to 10 months out of the year. I'm going to have a heavy rod in my hand sometime during the day, fishing heavy cover, behind docks, over cables, whatever. No matter what kind of bait it is. This time of year goes more the small creature baits and the jig than a worm. But I'm going to have them in that boat. December and January, maybe, depending where I'm fishing, maybe February they won't be in the boat. They'll be in the boat the rest of the year. And yeah, 2 or 3 of them. Why just one? Unless I just want the fish to bite my way. That's the problem with bass fishing or fishing, period. You try to make them come your way. If they don't come your way, Mike, he's probably happy that way. I'm not. Not yet. But here I am spun out. Funny, ain't it? I don't think I have too many rods and reels. Tackle-wise, I have a very minimum amount of tackle. I've got about 4 tackle boxes. One with square bills. One with deep divers. Or medium, a deeper crankbait. Because that square bill box, there's 2 main in the box, but there's half of bigger baits, half smaller baits, and several colors, and several duplicates, in case something works good. Same thing with the deep runner box, the deep little ends and wiggle work type stuff. And these deep We Are kind of baits. Bomber Model A's this time. I have Bomber Model A. The topwater box is mostly spooks, some whopper poppers, which I've never thrown in my life except ponds, but I've got them. Chug bugs, pop-ars, a few prop baits. Do I need all those? No. Generally, a spook and a buzzbait this time of year gets it done. Sometimes a pop-ar and chug bug. If the spook bites on, though, I'm going to have some different colors. I'm always have 2 different spooks. When the spook bites on, which it ain't yet, I'm going to have 2 different color spooks. I'm going to have a light one and a dark one. A yellow one and a white one. A bone and a chrome. Black, bullfrog, 2 different colors. For one thing, change up on a fish, it messes with me. Another thing, just trying to find what they want. It's like that swim jig. That swim jig is always on the deck. That and or a fluke sluggo type bait for following up after you miss them on a topwater. You're going to miss fish. That's my go-to topwater. If they don't bite the topwater again, you throw that sluggo, fluke, I like sluggo, or you throw that swim jig. It's always going to be there in a topwater bite. I have a jerkbait rod in there, or 2. Now, I just got one jerkbait rod. I haven't thrown it. Maybe I ought to, because I'm spun out. Jerkbait is a 10 to 12 month lure, depending on current things. It's definitely from this time of year through March. I've caught them in the summertime in the right situation. It's not like I know what I'm talking about, but here I'm spun out. I'm not getting them caught. Just dinks. I went 12 miles down the lake to a place I haven't fished in years. I fished that creek, all 3 arms of it for 3 hours, and never got a bite. It's dead. The wind's coming up now a little bit out of the north. Of course, like I said, mile high sky, maybe it's just a tough day. I think maybe I'm just not very good anymore. Tournament fishing is different than fun fishing. But if I was white bass fishing today, I still have 2 rods from a white bass, or 3. There's also such thing as backups. If I break a rod, or want to try a different line size, I want to be able to do it without sitting down and having to rebuild everything. When I used to fish away, like Kentucky or Texas or Arkansas or whatever, I'd carry more rods and reels. I still keep, there's at least one in there strung up, just wound around the handle and just put away. It's a backup. It's redundancy, but redundancy helps me catch fish, or it used to. Bass boats running back and forth. It's something I've seen my whole life. Everybody looking for those fish. I think I've seen a lot of boats run today. I think it's stuff for everybody. A lot of bass boats out here. I wonder if they're as bad spun out as I am. I don't have to justify this, but Mike got me thinking. It's something I could put in a video, and here I am struggling on the fish. I'm going to fish another hour, hour and a half or so. I got to go work tonight. Not letting it bother me. I've got tournaments next Tuesday. Got next Monday to fish also. I'm just trying to decide where to go, what to do Monday. Am I fishing good stuff? It just ain't working. I have swum that jig. I've crawled that jig. I've bounced that jig through a few brush piles. You know, 70,000 docks in this lake. Back in the day, it was 35,000 docks, and 25,000 of them had brush piles. I have fished 3 decent brush piles all day around these docks. Maybe I need to find more docks with brush. Of course, everybody else has found them. All the Ford Seek and Radar guys have found them. They're probably catching them. They're probably not spun out today. I got to keep thinking. I'm not really down. I'm not down. It's a challenge. It's supposed to be fun. I'm just not as good at it as I used to be. I think I can find something that works. But the extra rods and reels, when I'm fishing the best I ever fish in a tournament, I have 2 rods and reels or 3 rods and reels on deck. I only need 1 of them. That's when I'm fishing the best I ever fish. If come Tuesday morning, if I can do that, I start with 3 or 4 rods on deck and just need 1. I'm on them. I got it figured out. It's not happening right now. Not throwing no shaky head finesse stuff. It's fall. They're going to bite. I fish fairly shallow to fairly deep. I've got the stuff here. I can pick another rod up and fish 30 foot of water, or I can fish up on the bank. I'm going to have all the bases covered, because if I'm out here and I'm struggling like I am today, and I don't have the equipment and the tools in place to help me make decisions, then I really feel spun out. I'm over the wall. I'm upside down in a tree somewhere. So there you go, Mike. Thank you for being my buddy. Thank you for making me think. But I'm pretty sure that I'm in control of what I'm doing here, even if I ain't catching no fish. And it ain't like I ain't got choices, y'all. Look what I'm looking at here. This is the kind of stuff it ain't like I ain't fishing cool stuff. Look at that. And look at them early fall colors starting in. It's going to be a beautiful day still. Going to be a beautiful weekend. Back in the 70s, I'm wearing shorts. 70s and 80s. These poor fish, no wonder they're confused. It's the fish's fault, not mine. God bless you guys. Just trying to find something to talk about. Peace out.